Hello there, this is Akwa Ibom Rising, a program that keeps you abreast with the developmental strides ongoing in Akwa Ibom State under Governor Umo Eno's administration. Akwa Ibom Rising is brought to you from the office of the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Ikerete Udo. I am Greatest Usen.
Akwa Ibom Rising.
Envisioned by past administration and carried forward by the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Akwa Ibom's aviation dream is becoming a reality. With Ibom Air's steady growth, the return of young Akwa Ibomites trained as pilots and engineers abroad, and the expansion of world-class airport facilities in Akwa Ibom State, Akwa Ibom State is shaping Africa's aviation industry, which aligns with Governor Umo Eno's Arise agenda on infrastructure and human capacity development. This and many more will be explored on today's edition of Akwa Ibom Rising. Stay with us. I am Greatest Usen.
In the heart of Akwa Ibom, a bold vision has taken flight, from modern infrastructure to human capacity development. The state has steadily built a reputation as Nigeria's aviation capital. When Governor Umo Eno assumed office, he pledged to connect the dots between administrations. At the unveiling of the new terminal building, maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO facility in May 2023, then Governor-elect Pastor Umo Eno promised that his administration would maintain and complete every aviation project, building on the legacy of his predecessors.
Nigeria, we're used to having magnificent edifices, and after a few years you find out that maintenance becomes a problem. But I'd like to assure you that years after years, as God gives us grace to serve Akwa Ibom, we will ensure that this building remains in its optimal position and is maintained. Our job will be to ensure that we maintain and we build on this infrastructure. I'd like to also assure that if there is any project, Your Excellency, you have not finished, just like you have finished other people's projects, we will finish those projects and we will also make you proud. Building you're seeing here is the smartest in this part of the world. It's the kind of terminal building that if you have a flight delay, you can just walk completely as if you were in the office and then go and still board a flight. This is part of our total approach to aviation development, that as you come in, a lot of you have known that we have already made deposits and we're in the process of getting deliveries of 10 A220-300 series of Airbuses that will run regional flights, run international routes, and some of the partnerships and collaborations we have with other foreign airlines. And you can only do that successfully if you have this kind of building. Initially, we designed it to process 1 million passengers. But when they came and said that, look, there are a few additions they've made, we can process 1.5 million passengers through this airport in 12 hours of work daily.
I want to say a thing of beauty is a thing of joy forever. Those were the words pronounced by President Olusegun Obasanjo when he came to lay the foundation for the building of this airport. And today, you've made it come true. Who could be happy than what you have here for us? Thank you very much, Governor. The MRO, as conceived, you know, is supposed to be a big money earner for Akwa Ibom State. It's the only one in West Africa. We have a similar one in Ethiopia. We have one in South Africa, and this was conceived to serve the western region of Africa, or the western region of Africa. And it was a pity and a shame that we could not proceed with it to make it what it was.
We have here is a hidden jewel, and I think it has been done deliberately so that people will not quickly catch up with them. They hid this thing all along, because if other subnationals have known that they were doing this, they would have started immediately to catch them. But they hid all this thing from us. And now they're almost ready and everybody's behind. Everybody's behind. But it's all for Nigerians. Yes. It's all for the good of Nigerians. This is beautiful.
This attempt to build an MRO in Nigeria started in 1978. That is so many years ago, over 50 years. It hasn't been built. Even in 1982, in one of the flights to New York, they took us and showed that this is the company that will come and help us build MRO. The significant thing here is that we have an MRO that is world class, and the opportunity to train our young Akwa Ibomites in the art of aviation maintenance.
For Governor Umo Eno, the expansion of the Akwa Ibom aviation industry is not just about infrastructure, it is about people. Recently, Akwa Ibom celebrated the return of 35 indigents trained abroad, including 15 newly licensed pilots and 20 aircraft maintenance engineers. Trained at the Airbus Flight Academy in France and Ethiopian Airlines Aviation Academy, these young men and women represent the state's most valuable assets, its people. Receiving the cadet pilots and aeronautic engineers for Governor Eno was a fulfillment of the promise he had made when he promised that he was connecting the dots and would ensure that the foundations laid by his predecessors are nurtured to blossom in the overall interest of the state. He was full of encomiums for his immediate predecessor, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, for investing in the young people as he received them with open arms.
I want to thank, first of all, my political father and predecessor, Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, for his vision, the vision of bringing about Ibom Air and then nurturing it to start, and then the dream of training our own indigenous pilots and engineers. The vision we've continued to run. So I want to thank him today on a day like this. I represent him and I want to tell you how proud he will be to know that the seed he sowed had brought forth all of this harvest. I really want to say that Ibom Air is the airline to beat. And you're doing such a great job. Thank you for giving us this level of human capital that you have brought into the airline. I want to thank you for the work you are doing. As Akwa Ibomites, we'll continue to support you. If there are others you want to send, we will still support you to send so that we can keep having more people.
Of course, the success of Ibom Air is built on continuity, and the beneficiaries of the aviation training program who appreciated Governor Eno for investing heavily in furthering on the aviation vision in the state also commended the founder of Ibom Air for discovering and sending them abroad.
It is seen all over the state that you have given the youth an opportunity to etch their input in their Arise agenda and your blueprint. We thank you very much. We are proud of you, and we promise you that in the execution of our duties, we will make you proud. We will execute it to the highest possible standards to ensure that Ibom Air moves forward.
Let's say it was purely born out of passion. That passion had died as a child because I didn't see the vision financially. But thank God for time and chance, which happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to a lot of people seated here. Time and chance. And I didn't also know that one day I'll be sitting on the same table with the governor. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
I want to say thank you to Your Excellency for the opportunity you had given to us to be able to stand here today. This dream, I for one, so many persons, when you leave the shores of Akwa Ibom State in search of the pursuit for aviation, in search of becoming an engineer, chances are you never come back to the shores of Nigeria. You look forward to sojourning elsewhere. But today we can stand to say that Akwa Ibom State is a place where every other person, every other aviation professional hopes and desires to come to, because here is a place where we all can be proud of. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
The government of Akwa Ibom had done extremely well to sponsor. It's not cheap at all to sponsor these two groups to form a good basis for the human capital that we need to conclude the initial plan of Ibom Air. What happens in the industry is that you pick and choose from different airlines and those that apply. But if you don't have a core group, then you'll be struggling because they have come from different cultures and so on. So we decided the course of development of technology to send out our young Akwa Ibomites to go and train so that when they come back, whatever they learned, they will teach the rest of us that are at home. And both groups have performed very well.
The journey, however, does not end here. Governor Eno is advancing plans to establish the Ibom Aviation Academy, a world-class institution to train pilots, engineers, and aviation professionals in West and Central Africa. This will institutionalize aviation education, reduce capital flight, and secure the state's place as a manpower hub for the burgeoning aviation industry in the subcontinent.
Applied the very highest levels of corporate governance and the very highest levels of corporateness in the way we do set up the airline and do everything that we do. And so the culture that has now been established in the company is actually a world-class airline culture in every way. And I think the successes of the airline can be attributed to those two things. The shareholder letting the company run, and the company run as a very solid corporate entity. So those two things have combined to create the success that we have seen so far.
George Uriesi was recently appointed Acting Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, while Mfon Udom became the new non-executive chairman of the board. Both announced at the airline's first public annual general meeting on June 25, 2025. This management change occurred alongside the airline's reporting of a significant financial performance.
From the very beginning, we were set up in a very highly corporate way. So we had to go and get auditors, external auditors of the caliber of PricewaterhouseCoopers to be our external auditors. And they've been with us all the way through the 6 years. And every year, we planned to become profitable in year 3. And at the end of year 3, we became profitable in 2002, at the end of 2002. And the trajectory has been very good.
In October 2023, the airline launched its first international route to Accra, with plans for further destinations across West and Central Africa using range-capable A220-300 series of Airbus.
we are deliberately very cautious as we grow. Even though it's fast, it's also cautious because what is happening is we have a 9-aircraft fleet with 7 destinations. Many airlines that have 9-aircraft fleets have 16, 17, 20 destinations. The reason we've kept the footprint very tight is to be able to increase frequencies, so provide our customers with choice, morning, afternoon, evening, rather than just once every 2 days, once every 2 days kind of thing. So they can go in, come out, and that then, as soon as you establish their confidence that your schedule works, then they start planning to make their days as efficient as possible by using your schedule. And so we grow organically when we've saturated the 7 destinations. Then we add another destination with the capacity to go in there twice a day or once a day. And then we consolidate that, and then we go to the next station. So we have grown in terms of the number of passengers we carry, but we have not grown the network as fast as other airlines generally tend to do when they buy new aeroplanes. We are just consolidating and growing kind of with sense. And that strategy has worked very well for Ibom Air.
Governor Eno's commitment to growing the aviation industry also extends to facilities upgrade, new projects, and expansion works at the Victor Attah International Airport. During a recent project tour, he inspected several ongoing projects aimed at optimizing the potentials of the airport. The governor's tour took him to the new terminal building where finishing touches are being made, the modern airport clinic which he recently kick-started, and the ongoing aviation village, an 18-hectare residential area for aviation workers.
The aviation village, whose groundbreaking ceremony we are gathered here to perform, is a project that speaks to our passionate dedication to the expansion of our aviation ecosystem. It is planned to provide residential quarters for workers in the first phase, who will help further drive our vision to becoming the nation's major aviation hub. Let's provide this accommodation, which is planned to be a residential quarters for workers of close to 12 parastatals that will be here, that will need, and all of them have direct impact to the operations of the airport.
Governor Umo Eno's administration also released 1.19 billion naira to overhaul key facilities, including the replacement of navigational aids, the upgrade of airfield lighting, and installation of advanced security and surveillance systems. His administration is also dotting the T's to enable the completion of the new apron and taxiway meant to complement the new terminal building. The governor with the finisher's anointing, Pastor Eno, is living the vision of the founding fathers of Akwa Ibom's aviation industry. The dreams of Obong Victor Attah, who founded and started the airport project, to distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, who built the first terminal of the airport and landed the first aircraft on September 23, 2009, to Mr. Odom Emmanuel, who conceptualized and started Africa's first subnational airline. Governor Eno is presently investing to ensure that Akwa Ibom is not just flying higher, it is shaping the future of Africa's aviation industry.
Akwa Ibom, a land of stunning landscapes and relentless progress. Governor Umo Eno's impact on infrastructure is remarkable, with quality roads, solid bridges, rural development, state-of-the-art hospitals, model primary schools, and ecological restoration. There is food for the vulnerable in the social register, compassionate shelter for the poor, gratuity and pension to all workers in the state. Governor Umo Eno ensures security of lives and empowers young entrepreneurs and farmers for productivity and food security. It's superlative performance by Governor Umo Eno. Welcome to the Golden Era.
That's it on today's edition of Akwa Ibom Rising. Thank you so much for staying with us. This program was brought to you from the Office of the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Ekerete Udo. I am Greatest Lucette.
This is the only state we call our motherland. Akwa Ibom people arise and shine.